Come on, piggies. Come meet your friend and your new home. Oh dear, not the sharpest tool in the box. One by one, please. That's how it works. Oh. Finally. Took you a while, didn't it? Hello everyone, my name is Graeme and welcome to episode 8 of my Minecraft tutorial series. In this episode, I'll teach you all about growing crops and breeding animals. This would mean we'll have a sustainable food supply, so we can venture further out into the world without having to worry about getting food during our travels. But before we start farming, there is something very important I need to talk about. While reviewing my previous episodes, I realized I forgot to mention something very important inside our cozy cottage. Let me show you. So when we built this house, I only realized afterwards. I only ever mentioned this one chest, and that is by far not enough storage for us. What I forgot to cover was that I also built a ceiling. And in the ceiling, all these are actually barrels. So there are loads of storage space up here at the top. It's just hidden in plain sight. So if I remove one of these slabs, you'll be able to see how I placed the barrels. It's simply sideways against the wall, and that gives us tons of storage. There's even some extra space up there if we wanted to add more things in the future. So yeah, not only do we have a single chest for quickly dropping off those random items, we also have plenty more storage up above. Whoops, before we leave, while I was fighting mobs during the night, I managed to get one carrot from killing a zombie. Yeah, they mostly drop rotten flesh, but there's a very small chance they also drop a carrot or a potato. So I was pretty lucky and perfect timing for our farming episode. The other crop we can plant is wheat. We got some seeds stashed in here. We got those from clearing the tall grass when we made space for building our cottage. And not to forget, we also have some melons. And let's grab a few sugarcane as well. To grow the melons, we need to turn the slices into seeds, like so. And then lastly, we want to grab a few bones, because we can turn them into bone meal, which is like fertilizer for plants. My plan is to establish a farm on that piece of land, so let's head that way. Wow, it's slow moving through this water. I think very soon we'll have to build a bridge here as well. We'll be accessing our farms frequently anyway. Yeah, that should be a nice addition to our base. So this is the area I thought would work nice for our farms. We'll need to flatten the land a bit and fill in some holes. So let's get that done. This is going to take a while, so let's skip ahead. There we go, terraforming is complete. This should be much easier to work with. Our carrots can go over here somewhere. And I think we can plant some wheat on the edge of the water. We'll need a hoe so we can prepare the soil. I briefly covered this when we planted the melons next to our cottage, but let's explain it in more detail. So that is our hoe. And what we use a hoe for is to till soil. So if we right click on the grass or dirt, it becomes tilled soil, and that is what we need to plant our crops in. Try not to jump on it, as it turns it back into regular dirt. So don't go dancing all over your crops. As in the real world, for crops to grow well, they require water. So we'll add some in here. And now, if we till our soil, it will eventually turn into a darker color, indicating that it's hydrated. There, that's it. That means the soil's getting hydrated and the plants will grow better. I'm only tilling 4 blocks away from the water source, as that's the furthest that the hydration spreads. So let's go ahead and till all the soil around the water, 4 blocks in each direction. There we go, all done. And as you can see, the water is spreading and hydrating the soil. So let's become a farmer and plant our first crop. So we're going to make this into a carrot patch, and it's super easy. With a carrot in hand, simply right click. And there we go, we have planted our carrot. All crops require sunlight to grow, so at night they are normally dormant. But what we can do is place torches around the farmland. That'll give off enough light to make sure they grow even at night. Let's quickly cover what we can use carrots for. It's a basic food item, though not very great. You can also use them for brewing potions, and what we're really after at the moment, you can breed pigs with them. Carrots and potatoes go through 4 stages of growth. After that, they are fully grown and ready to be harvested. Now that can take a day or two, but we can speed up the process. That's where bones come into play. Grinding down the bones, we end up with bone meal. And that's a super fertilizer. This stuff is magic. Right-click and plants grow way faster. Oh, that wasn't much. A bit unlucky there. Normally they skip a few growth stages. Let's try one more time. And there we go. That's a fully grown carrot plant. Now to harvest it, simply punch it with anything. And there we go. We've doubled our carrots. So now we simply replant those and repeat the process until our farmland is fully covered with carrots. As I mentioned earlier, we also want to make sure our crops grow at night. So let's place a few torches around. And the last one here. To make sure our crops have lots of light, we'll place 2 fence posts in the water so we can put a torch in the center of the field as well. There we go. That'll give plenty of light to make sure the plants grow continuously. Next, we'll move on to wheat. Pretty much all crops work in the same way. They require tilled soil to be planted and hydrated soil to grow better. As this is next to the water, all we need to do is till the soil and we are good to go. And as before, simply right-click to plant the seeds. Unlike carrots or potatoes, wheat has 8 stages of growth, where the others only had 4. Same as with carrots, applying bone meal makes them grow near instantly into adult plants. And there we go, that is a fully grown wheat plant. Let's do a few more. Nice. Now the same as before, to harvest them, simply whack them with anything. And there we go, it guarantees to drop 1 wheat and between 0 to 4 seeds. And that is all there is to know about growing wheat. And we simply repeat the process over and over. So what do we use wheat for? Well, it can be used in food recipes to make bread or cake, and we can feed it to cows and sheep to breed them. The next crop on our list is sugarcane. They can be planted on sand, dirt, or grass. One difference being they don't require tilled soil, but they must be planted adjacent to water, even if it's flowing water. They also grow up to 3 or 4 blocks tall, and again, you just punch them to harvest them. We'll use sugarcane to make sugar or paper. We can use the sugar for brewing potions, and the paper can be used for many things like maps, books, or even fireworks. Now let's turn our attention to the animals. I've seen some cows, sheep, and chickens up there on the hill. I think some pigs too. But before we bring them down, we need a place for them to live. I'll start by building an animal enclosure over here. Nothing too fancy, but it should be good enough to keep some cows and sheep at least. I'm not much of a builder, so I'll just freestyle these builds. This seems like a good time for a time lapse. Let's go! And welcome back. Let's quickly climb up here to get a bird's eye view to see how it looks. Yeah, that's not too bad. I like how it turned out to be an oval shape. That should be plenty big enough for some cows and sheep. We also need a home for some piggies, so I thought a pigsty should look quite nice over here on the edge of the water. So let's get building. Time for another time lapse. Now that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that. I added a few more details to this enclosure. Here I made what looks like a path that has been well used. Just a mixture of coarse dirt and a bit of gravel. I also planted a bit of grass here and there and topped off the pillars with some spruce slabs. We can always expand this enclosure later if needed, but I think it should be fine for now. And then here is our pigsty. Very basic, a bit of water and what looks like mud for the pigs to play in, and again some overgrown grass here and there. Now let's go find some animals on that hill. If I'm not mistaken, I recall seeing some pigs here somewhere. Ah, there's one in the distance. To get the animals to follow you, you got to entice them with their food of choice. For pigs, that would be carrots. Hence, we started to grow our crops first. Simply hold the carrot in your hand and get close to the pig. It will immediately take interest and start following you. There we go. Come on, piggy. I want to show you your new home. Just remember not to run, because they can't follow you that fast. Nice. Almost home, piggy. You're going to love your new home. Lots of food for you and even mud to play in. There we go. Come on. Now we quickly run and close the gate. There we go. First animal in. Now back up the hill to find some more animals. Oh, we're in luck. Cows and sheep. Let's see if we can herd them all in one go. Their food of choice is wheat. Hello, do you want some wheat? You've got to follow me first. I think here was another sheep as well. Come on, sheepy. There you go. Wow, no fighting or pushing. This is total chaos. We just need to go down slowly and carefully. Then nobody would get hurt. Yeah, you guys can sort yourselves out. Oh, be careful now. Are you alright? Wow, can animals be so excited about food? So the idea is that we get a pair of each animal. That way we can breed them, and that gives us a continuous supply of food. There we go, almost home. Nice, one by one, good job. Come on in, come on in. Ah, there always has to be one. We just switch away from our food and then back again. There, that seems to have done the trick. Oi, you come back here. There we go, everybody in. And we quickly close the gate. Cool, this looks awesome with all the animals in. I love it. Come on, piggies. Come meet your friend and your new home. Oh dear, not the sharpest tool in the box. One by one, please. That's how it works. Oh. Finally. Took you a while, didn't it? The last structure I want to build is a chicken coop. This looked like a good spot for it. So let's jump into another time lapse. All done. It ended up a bit bigger than I envisioned, but I'm sure the chickens would love the extra space they're getting. Now let's head back up the mountain to gather some chickens. You had to be right at the top. Thank you for your eggs. Can you follow me, please? Thank you. Ah, another one. Can I get your attention as well? Thank you. Wow, that chicken coop is humongous. It's a giant chicken coop, but it's alright for now. Come on, little chickens, almost home. In you go. Great, we are in business now. So, what remains is to start breeding our animals. Oh, thank you very much. Wow, that is awesome. By breeding the animals, we can harvest what they have on offer. Chickens would give us meat, feathers, and eggs. All very useful items. Breeding any animals are the same process, just the food item that changes. Chickens like seeds, so we simply right-click on 2 of them and it puts them into love mode. Seconds later, and we'll have a baby chick running around. The deed is done. Oh, so cute! The same animals can only breed once per day, so we'll have to wait until tomorrow to breed some more. We can, however, move over to the pigs and start breeding them. Pigs eat carrots, so we'll use that to breed them. Again, simply right-click the carrot on a pair and they'll start making a baby. And there we go. And every time we breed animals, we also get some experience points. Hello, little piglet. Oh, I love your big head. Moving over to the cows and sheep. The breeding process is exactly the same, but this time we use wheat. Okay, cows, time to make some magic. And there we have a calf. Again, oh, they look so awesome as babies. Okay, sheepies, your turn. Ta-da! And we have a little lamb. Wow, he's instantly hungry. And that's how you breed animals. Easy as that. Cows will give us steak and leather, but they'll also give us milk. Right-click an empty bucket, and that gives you a full bucket of milk. We can use milk in recipes, like cakes, but we can also drink milk to remove potion effects from our character, like poison and stuff. Very useful. Sheep will give us wool and mutton. Later I'll also show how we can dye wool, as there are 16 colors to gather. Oh, almost forgot. When you throw an egg, you have a small chance of hatching a baby chick. So we just throw it, there's that small chance. It doesn't always happen. There we go, yay! So that's also why I've been collecting all the eggs in the earlier episodes. Perfect timing. As the sun goes down, it's time to wind down this episode. This was a very fun episode to make, and it's a very important preparation for our future explorations. We really don't want to worry about food while we travel further out into the world. And that is our farm. I'm pretty proud of it. And yeah, we covered a lot in this episode. I'll spend a few more in-game days breeding up the animals and growing crops. And I'll be sure to show you the progress in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, then maybe consider liking the episode and even dropping a comment. It would really mean a lot to me. And also feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. My name is Graeme, and thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.